Every September, something strange happens around the world. People line up outside stores, websites crash, and everyone's talking about one thing: a phone. But not just any phone, the new iPhone. It's wild when you think about it. Why does the launch of one phone feel like a global holiday? Why do millions rush to buy something that looks almost the same as last year's? Because Apple doesn't just sell a phone. It sells emotion. It sells excitement, belonging, and status. The iPhone 17 isn't just a gadget. It's part of a plan that turns hype into billions of dollars. Apple has built one of the most powerful money-making machines in history. One that runs on psychology, loyalty, and a little bit of magic. And today, we're breaking it all down. How Apple makes every launch feel like a world event, how it gets people to upgrade year after year, and how that turns into one of the biggest profits on Earth. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because once you understand Apple's game, you'll never look at a phone the same way again. Chapter 1. How Apple creates the hype. The story starts months before the iPhone 17 even launches. You see, Apple doesn't wait until release day to get your attention. They start planting seeds early. Leaks begin to appear online. A new color, a better camera, a thinner design. Suddenly, everyone's talking about it. TikTok videos, YouTube reviews, tech blogs, all feeding the excitement. But here's the trick. Apple wants those leaks to happen. They know every rumor builds curiosity. The more people talk, the more emotionally attached they get. By the time the real launch event happens, people already want to buy it. They just need Apple to give them permission. Then comes the big event. Lights, music, beautiful slides, and Tim Cook walking on stage with that calm smile. Every word, every image, every pause is perfectly planned. It's not just a product launch. It's a show. And at the end of that show, the audience doesn't say, "I want to buy a phone." They say, "I need that phone." Chapter 2. The psychology of wanting. So why do we want new iPhones so badly, even if ours still works fine? Because Apple sells feelings, not features. The iPhone 17 might have a slightly faster chip or a new camera, but the real reason people buy it is emotional. It makes them feel modern, confident, and successful. Think about it. When someone pulls out the latest iPhone, what do you think? Wow, they've got the new one. It's a symbol, a piece of status you can hold in your hand. Apple understands human psychology better than almost any company in the world. They know we love the feeling of being part of something special. They know we fear missing out. And they know that even small upgrades can trigger that "I need it" feeling. It's not really about specs. It's about self-image. Apple doesn't sell technology. It sells identity. Chapter 3. The price trick. Let's be honest. iPhones are expensive. The iPhone 17 Pro Max can cost over $1,200. But here's the genius part. Apple makes that price feel smaller. How? By turning it into a monthly payment. Instead of saying $1,200, they say $39.99 a month. Suddenly, it doesn't sound bad at all. Your brain goes, "Oh, that's manageable." They also offer trade-ins, financing, and bundles that make people think they're saving money, when really Apple still wins big. And the profit margins? Massive. It costs Apple around $550 to build a high-end iPhone, but they sell it for more than double. That's hundreds of dollars in pure profit for each phone. Even better, Apple charges more for extra storage, $100 more for 256 gigabytes, $200 more for 512 gigabytes, even though the actual cost to Apple is only a few bucks. That small detail earns them billions every year. It's smart business, but it's also brilliant psychology. Apple doesn't force you to pay more. It makes you want to. Chapter 4. The Apple Ecosystem. Buying an iPhone is just the beginning. Once you're inside Apple's world, it's almost impossible to leave. Everything connects perfectly. Your iPhone with your AirPods, your Apple Watch, your MacBook, your iCloud storage. It all just works. And that's the point. Apple designed it that way on purpose. They want to make their world so smooth, so easy, that you never want to leave it. Switch to another brand, and suddenly things feel broken. Your messages turn green. Your photos don't sync. Your apps don't work the same. That's not an accident. That's Apple's greatest trick. The more you use their products, the more locked in you become. And while you're there, Apple quietly makes money from you every month through iCloud, Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, and the App Store. In 2025 alone, Apple made over $100 billion from services, not from selling devices, but from keeping people inside the Apple ecosystem. That's not just clever, that's genius. Chapter 5. The Illusion of Scarcity. You've probably seen it. iPhone 17 sold out in minutes. Sounds exciting, right? But here's the secret. Apple often plans it that way. By limiting the number of phones at launch, they create the illusion of massive demand. It makes people think, wow, everyone's buying it, I should too. It's classic marketing psychology. When something seems rare, it feels valuable. And when something feels valuable, people rush to get it. Apple has turned scarcity into a sales weapon, and every year, it works like magic. Chapter 6. The Stock Market Game. Apple's launches don't just excite fans, they excite investors too. Every iPhone event moves the stock market. Before and after each launch, Apple's stock price often jumps. Why? Because investors know that every new iPhone means billions in revenue, more subscriptions, and more people joining the ecosystem. Apple isn't just a tech company, it's an investment powerhouse. Each iPhone launch acts like a financial holiday on Wall Street. And the best part? Apple doesn't even have to surprise anyone anymore. The hype alone keeps their stock strong. They've built so much trust that people invest just because it's Apple. Chapter 7. The Illusion of Change. If we're being honest, the iPhone doesn't change much every year, but Apple has learned how to make small updates feel like huge upgrades. They'll add a slightly brighter screen, a smoother camera, or a new feature like Action Button or Dynamic Island. And suddenly people feel like they're missing out if they don't upgrade. It's a slow drip of innovation, not too little, not too much. Just enough to keep people excited, but not so much that old phones feel ancient. That's how Apple keeps the cycle going. They don't want you to buy one iPhone. They want you to buy 10, one after another, for life. Chapter 8. The Numbers That Don't Lie. Let's look at the big picture. Since 2007, Apple has sold over 2.3 billion iPhones. That's more than one phone for every 3 people on the planet. Those phones have brought in more than $2 trillion in revenue and over $500 billion in profit. And that's just the iPhones. Add in AirPods, accessories, Apple Care, and services like iCloud, and the total number gets even more insane. Apple has turned one product into a full-blown economy. Every new iPhone doesn't just sell itself, it creates ripples across the entire tech world. Chapter 9. The Master Plan. Here's the truth. Apple's biggest invention isn't the iPhone, it's the system behind it. They've built a perfect machine that combines design, psychology, and business. They know what we want before we know it. They make us feel good about spending more, and they make sure we stay loyal forever. Apple's not in the phone business. They're in the desire business. They figured out how to make buying feel like belonging. And every new iPhone is another reminder that their system works. Chapter 10. The Infinite Loop. Every iPhone launch feels like something new, but the truth is, it's the same story told perfectly every year. Apple builds the hype, controls the message, sells the feeling, and walks away with billions in profit. It's the same cycle: anticipation, launch, upgrade, repeat. And somehow, it never gets old. Because Apple doesn't just sell technology. It sells dreams, wrapped in glass, powered by emotion, and priced for perfection. If this story opened your eyes to the genius behind Apple's business, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Because understanding how Apple works isn't just about tech, It's about learning how the world's smartest companies turn want into wealth.